Hi guys. So I have been asked this question by a lot of you, like what is the condition, what is the criteria, how a German university picks its master's students? It's a very important question which you all need to know so that you can prepare well. And there are 4 or 5 things I would like to talk about. The first one, and it's a pretty big confusion with a lot of you, especially who come from India and who have done 3-year programs like a BCom or a BA or something like that, that whether a 3-year program is valid for a master's program, yes or no. The short answer is it doesn't really matter to a German university whether you have done a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, 100-year course. All what a German university is looking for is whether you have completed the right, so remember 2 words, relevant and complete, relevant and complete set of credits. So if you are applying for engineering degree, then you need to know, okay, I'm applying for electrical engineering masters. What kind of credits the university is looking for? Have I covered all of them or most of them in my undergrad? So that is the question you need to ask. You don't need to ask whether you have done a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year program. In engineering especially, you need a 4-year thing because that gives you 180 credits. So typically 180 European credits. So ECTS is European credits. So remember this word ECTS, ECTS. So 180 ECTS is something which you need. Now you don't apply after your 8th semester, you apply after your 6th or 7th semester. So 80% of 180 ECTS is good enough for you to apply. Get that? 80% of the requirement, if you have already accomplished in your undergrad, then you can apply for a German university. It does not matter. It does not matter if you have a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, 10-year undergrad. It does not matter. You need to have the right set of credits, right? Okay, so that's number one thing. Number two, timing. So the perception of time in Asia is very different than perception of time in Germany. The typical winter semester starts in October, and you should assume that the program will close in January or February. The application needs to be made well in time. Don't delay. It's stupid to delay. Okay, and then you need to have some kind of related majors. It's not just blindly applying, but as we talked, you need to have the right credits before you're applying. So those two things which I talked about: number of credits, the timing. Don't be lazy. Apply for winter program which starts in October by January. Send out your application, complete the requirements. Those are the two things important. Okay, what else is important? The third thing which is important is matching degree. Now, I'll give you an example of Berlin Institute of Technology, where you need certain set of programs or certain set of courses in your undergrad with theoretical computers. Now, theoretical computers is not covered in a lot of Indian universities or even Chinese universities or Asian universities. Now, what will happen if you need 12 theoretical computer credits to apply and then you don't have it, then you will not get the admission. You need to have the right set of credits. So it's called matching. They will, so let's assume that you are applying for a master's program in computer science, then they'll have, I don't know, 5 or 10 different kind of sub buckets. Each bucket, for example, one bucket is theoretical computers. If you have not done any credits in your undergrad in India in theoretical computer, you should forget about your admission to this university. They will not accept you, right? So this is something which is very important, to have the right kind of course matching. So undergrad in Germany and undergrad in India, similar kind of courses you need to have ticked off when it comes to listing your credits. I don't know how many students make this mistake. You are super good at so many different things, but if you can't do this basic thing, it's just plain stupid. Okay. So the first thing is number of credits, whether it's 3 or 4 or 5 years of education, that is important. Number 2 is timing, super important. You guys keep flunking it. Number 3 is matching degree, matching courses with the undergrad in Germany. Number 4 is language requirement. So some universities have A2, B1, B2. You need to check with the university. You need to check depending on the course. Now, language is important, no doubt about it, but language is important for the job. Language is not important for your admission, or at least it's not that important. German universities know that you will learn the language once you are in the university. Nobody expects you to have a C1 level of language before you join in the university. Some programs require that. For example, if you are going into a medical field, if you want to become a doctor in Germany, then you need to start by having a C1 level of German. But if you are going to an engineering program, then some universities will ask for A2, some will ask for B1, but nobody is going to let you in with an A1, that is for sure. So typically it is A2, B1 or B2. Those are the 3 options. But then check with the university. Now, a lot of students make this mistake. English requirement. A lot of programs are in English. Yes, English may be your mother tongue, but you have to sometimes prove that you have the right score in TOEFL or some of these English oriented courses. So TOEFL, a score of 90, or this what's called IELTS or whatever it's called, score of 6 or 7 or whatever band that is. It again depends on the university. So it's not only about the language requirement in German, but it's also language requirement in English. This is what a lot of people miss out on. Your application will be much stronger if you are having both requirements met, English and German. And obviously, once you are in the university, you are starting to apply for German jobs. Then you need to improve your German according to the requirement of the job. So that is point number 4. Did we talk about GPA? No. So that was point number 4. Point number 3 is I mixed up. But anyway, the GPA, importance of GPA. In Indian universities or in Asian universities, GPA is a very, very important element. So higher the GPA, better the chance. But GPA is not that important here. What is more important? Matching of the courses. Matching of the courses, not the GPA. Your GPA doesn't need to be very shitty, but it has to be okay enough that you can outshine other applicants. It doesn't need to be a 9.5 on a 10-pointer. A guy with 9-pointer may not get an admission. Somebody with 7 points can get an admission simply because he or she has a better matching of the courses. Very important. Okay. Finally, GR, GMAT, these are being accepted now by a lot of universities. You can check with the admissions department of the university online. All this information is out there. But if you apply for some of these universities, be well prepared, because GRE, GMAT exam results do not come in a day. You have to prepare, you have to take a date, and you have to get the outcome. So plan for it. So let's just quickly go through all the points. So the first one is, it's not dependent on whether you are a 3-year BCom or a 4-year, 5-year, your undergrad. The length in terms of time does not matter. What matters? 180 ECTS, at least 80% of those should be completed before you apply. That's point number 1. Point number 2, timing, super important. Applying for winter semester, get it done before January. Point number 3, matching the courses. Example, theoretical computers, Berlin Institute of Technology. Point number 4, GPA, not that important. It's okay to have a great GPA, but it's more important to have the right matching of the courses. Number 5, language requirements, A2, B1, B2. Ask anybody in the university, they'll tell you what's needed. The higher the language requirement, the better. The language is not just German, it's also English. So some universities also ask you for English requirements. Okay. Finally, GRE, GMAT scores, also important, especially the quantitative part of these. And if you can produce these well in time, you will have a much better chance to get through the master's program. Okay, guys. So these are just few points. You can ask me anything on YouTube channel or on Facebook. I would be more than happy to help you to prepare for your application. German universities are very transparent in how they evaluate, and you should try and get as much information about the selection criteria well in time, prepare well in advance so that you are not scrambling for last minute preparation. And some of these things actually cannot be prepared last minute. For example, matching of the courses, right? So a lot of these universities in undergrad in India have elective courses. If you are picking up elective courses in Russian and you're applying to Berlin Institute of Technology for Computer Science, then good luck. You need to have the required course matching. Sorry for being repetitive, but that's how it is. Course matching, course matching, course matching. That is the mantra. Apply in time, get all your 180 multiplied by 80% credits. And the language requirement is important, but not so critical. Okay, guys. So these are just some of the tips I wanted to give you about your application to the master's universities. Good luck. And if you have questions, just let me know. Bye.